Good afternoon, and thank you very much. It's so awesome to be here. I want to talk about digital transformation. I think these are the two most hyped words in the industry today. I have a pretty simple view on it. I think digital transformation is about achieving incremental gains through technology, and we think that automation is one of the core enablers of those gains. To get a perspective on that, we would like to invite Armando Lambert, who's the VP of Digital Transformation at Bayview Asset Management. Armando, would you like to join us, please?
How you doing, Zia? Thank you.
So Armando, you guys started your automation journey about 2-3 years ago, and there was a lot of folks were skeptical about the whole technology. So just guide us through, how you went about in the early days and how your overall transformation took place.
Absolutely. Back in 2016, there was a problem that needed to be solved in our organization. Our company, Bayview, is an asset management firm. We primarily deal with whole loans, mortgage servicing rights, pretty much anything from an investment opportunity dealing with assets. And that problem was, since our business is very cyclical, how do you make things more efficient? We start with people, process, and thirdly, systems. So throughout that journey, I basically came up with a model with a team, how we're going to solve this need. With the governance background I have, I knew it needed to start with governance. We can bring in developers, that's fine, but you need to put the wrapper around the program. You can call it a COE, you can call it a Center of Innovation, there's a lot of different words for it. But our COE, we needed to put those core values around governance, risk, and compliance. We're a financial firm, we needed to make sure all the regulators would be happy ultimately as you exchange humans potentially with digital workers. So in 2016, we picked a tool, UiPath, and at that time we said, wait a second, are we going to put this in traditional IT? And I had a problem with that early on. IT is great. They have a lot of talented people there, but this is a new world for them. So in 2016, we partnered up with a couple people, and we wanted to have some proof of values in looking at different tools, not only UiPath, and also looking at different partner vendors. Acceleriate came on board. One of the benefits with Acceleriate was they were a true cognitive shop. They weren't trying to sell us on additional services. They just focused on RPA, machine learning, and AI. So in 2016, we partnered with them. We started small. We didn't want to boil the ocean. I had C-level here that I had to prove that this worked. And so we started very small, tasks, micro tasks, and just to see, hey, without spending a whole ton of money, let's figure out if this will work in our organization. Every organization is different. Some have more legacy systems, and some are all cloud, whatever it may mean. So in 2017, we built that governance program first. I told Zia, I don't want to develop yet. Let's spend the first 3 months. Let's make sure it fits within the context of our SDLC and IT. Small tweaks, as you need to do. And then we started deploying. And I would say within 6 months to end off 2016, we had about 6 automations in place, okay? And it's not always a one-for-one, right? You can have a bot for many automations, and you want to be efficient as well in your organization when you prove to leadership. And we start with those 6 automations, and we're very big, we're a financial institution. We need to put the metrics in place first. If the C-level and the managing directors, you need to show them ROI. Definitely in a financial institution. And after 6 months, I put all the metrics together. The beauty about it is the bots were phoning home. Unlike some traditional IT systems, you really can't quantify the savings. In our RPA program, Intelligent Automation Program, we can definitely show the savings. We met with the owner, we met with the managing directors, and he quickly told us, scale up, scale up, scale up. And that's what we've done. 2017, we started doing about 20 automations a quarter. We're averaging about 100 a year. And in year 1, I think we did closer to about 104, 105. And once again, every quarter, meeting with the managing directors, putting some financial analysis around. Back then, there really wasn't much guidance around models. So we built our internal models. It's not always about it's always about volume, and how much savings, how much does a human take, how much will the bot take, what's the runtime of the bots. All this information factors in and showing a good ROI. In 2019, same thing. We pipelined, showing the savings. It was perpetual. The savings after year one was in the millions. And obviously, they're very happy with that. Absolutely. So we continued to build that pipeline. Here we are in 2019, ending the year. We're going to have close to 200 automations. You know, we've automated, we've saved over north of 150 man hours. You know, that translates to a lot of money back in the pocket. It's a good story. You know, IT is very operational, and it's just a spend. You know, where our innovation team and optimization team has been giving money back to the company. And I don't see that changing. You know, for us, you know, we're very entrepreneurial as a business. We want to make sure that we can automate as much as possible, and we want to make sure we count for everything. RPA is not for everything. I think we can all agree with that. You know, you want to definitely partner up with other areas and make sure that they're involved. The marketing aspect of it, getting the business involved, and getting IT involved, and having that synergy.
So I heard you're very good friends with the CEO now, that we have that many automations in place.
I don't know about that, but yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's you don't have to prove to him it works. There's a lot of good and bad that can come with it. It's working through that's important. We all get bumps and bruises when doing this intelligent automation program.
Maybe if you can just quickly tell us about some of the challenges and some of the best practices, just a brief overview on those.
Yeah, I mean, the wins and the losses, right? So, you know, we'll start with the impediments. You need to have some standardization. That's not just on how you code the automation, but it's also the governance. How you do intake, how you do feasibility, how you do life cycle, process discovery, all the way down to deployment and maintenance. And maintenance is a big piece of that as well. You need to factor in what you're going to do once they're live. How are you going to maintain this for years to come? There's a big risk involved, right? You know, you're potentially, you could replace people. Although my play has always been scalable, do much more with less. But if you have a digital workforce, you need to manage your risk. And that all starts with standardization, ensuring this is here for the long run. You know, obviously, getting the buy-in from the business. The business is very resistant early on. Now they're champions. Now they send us ideas that we can automate and look at and see if it's prime for automation. And then the collaboration between departments. IT was very resistant early on. You know, now they're excited because we're giving them opportunities to do machine learning and RPA and potentially, AI. The best practices, you know, you can look at it here, you know, educate departments. We have a robust internal training program. We do lunch and learns. UiPath has come into our environment and showed us how to do things. Acceleriate has been very generous in training our internal staff on how to develop and how to do proper business analysis. Making sure you get those high yield opportunities. You know, just don't go out and automate garbage. You know, that's not what you want to tell a CEO. Yeah, I automate it all day, but what's the lift? You know, look at those, start small, and then cross-pollinize in departments. Keep the stakeholders in the loop. We name bots after people. We give them names. We turn to them and said, you're the bot handler. You own this. You know, they're starting to feel a lot better, you know, of how much that's working for them. And, you know, obviously we mentioned before, you know, IT, get the smart people in IT to buy in. The architects, show them how you're doing it. Let them feel comfortable and show them what digital transformation is going to look like. You know, they're experts in doing APIs and web services and .NET and Java. Show them that we can all use it together and have good harmony there. And then obviously the most important thing that I feel is metrics and dashboards. It's not just capacity and threshold management and what your bots are doing. It's also about operationally. Is the bot down? Are they running at efficiency? What's the runtime of the bot? There's a lot of buy-in and a lot of information that you can see around that digital type of workforce. So that, yeah, absolutely, Dia. That's one of the key things.
So we want to leave the audience with a conclusion in very simple words.
Well, I would tell you this, you know, focus on the governance. You know, I have a financial background, information security, governance, risk, and compliance. Part of the reason we've been successful in our organization is because we focused on that. You know, I faced a problem, They put me in charge of it. I built an internal management consulting team that had risk number one, compliance and regulation, all number one. Everything else comes secondary. When the regulators come, they're very happy. You know, they're looking at me saying, okay, well, you took the human element out of it. Oh, wait, you're doing 100% sampling now versus 10% because a human had to grab that information. So, you know, RPA is about, like Zia mentioned earlier, it's just one piece of the whole digital transformation story. You know, it's just incremental gains. And when you put everything together, it can work and definitely lift in an organization.
Absolutely. One last parting words. If you want to climb up the corporate ladder, do RPA. CEOs love it. Thank you so much again. Thank you so much, Armando, for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.